Hey everybody, welcome to the Book Nook. Today we are going to talk about Joe Hill's The Black Phone stories. This will be coming to a theater near you on June 24th. So this is going to be a movie coming out starring Ethan Hawke, and I thought that I would read these short stories by Joe Hill. The Black Phone, which is what the movie is based off of, before the movie comes out, and then I'll probably end up seeing the movie. I read this book, and it's a fantastic collection of short stories. There are so many different and fantastical ideas that Joe Hill's brain has concocted and put onto the page. There's a story about ghost trees, and not all of them are specifically horrific. Some of them are actually quite touching. There's a story about baseball. I think my favorite story was called My Father's Mask. It was so unique in the concept of it. There were ghosts of past and present. That's about all I'll say about it. These were phenomenally written. This is probably, in recent times, one of the best books of short stories that I've read. Also loved recently Shadow Atlas. That was a compilation of a bunch of different authors, and it was also fantastic. These are all by Joe Hill. I did read recently I've been reading a lot of short story collections, and I read one recently, and it felt like all the stories in it minus one were rough drafts. And I don't want to call out any authors, so I'm not gonna talk about that one. The story, specifically The Black Phone, that story is about, over the years, there's all these younger boys who have disappeared, and they're never heard from again. And then enter John Finney, ends up getting kidnapped, and he's put in this room in a basement, soundproof, and there's this old vintage phone. It's disconnected, it doesn't work, it shouldn't ring, but then he gets a phone call on that phone, and it is one of the ghosts of someone who had been in that room before, one of those boys who was lost. They don't want the same thing to happen to him, and they kind of are helping him. So these ghosts are calling him on this vintage black phone. I think that the movie could be super creepy with what they're gonna do with it. And I watched the trailer for it the other day too, and it looked pretty good. The Black Phone is actually pretty short, so it'll be interesting to see where they take the movie with that. But yeah, there's just some really great stories. One of the other stories, 20th Century Ghost, is a story about this old movie theater. Here and there's this ghost of this woman who appears to people, and it seems almost like she's selective in the people she appears to. There's also, so I need to say this, I am a huge proponent of reading the author's acknowledgments, because you get a glimpse into their mind, their life, and these acknowledgments. And you'll probably if you've seen some of my videos, you'll notice I do mention them quite a bit, especially if there's something really great in them. There's a short story hidden in these, so read the acknowledgments. This one you get a bonus story. It's kind of like, as a gamer, with video games, when we finish a video game, my partner and I, we watch all the credits. It's like, give the devs their due. Like, they put all this effort, their blood, sweat, and tears, and heart and soul into writing these stories, or to creating a game. They wrote it, it's in the book. Like, for me, you don't have to do it, but for me, I want to give the author their due. Like, they wrote those acknowledgments for a purpose, and I found so many fascinating insights just reading the acknowledgments. So I'm a big proponent of that. So this book, I gave this 5 stars. These are just so well written. Each story is like a doorway or a portal into this creative, horrific, sometimes sweet, sometimes sour, different little vignette of a world that Joe Hill has created, and it's awesome. So thank you everyone so much for joining me today in the Book Nook. If you had fun hanging out, boop that like button, come back, see me again, and we'll talk about more bookish things and weird stuff. And so, until next time, we'll see you later. Bye!